We're here at the Iron Valley office again, getting ready to talk with Justin Hovetter, broker, partner, business owner, real estate agent still too, realtor. Yeah.
Yeah,
So welcome.
thanks.
Good. So who are you? What? tell, I mean, isn't that a great first question? Who are you, Justin?
That's open-ended.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know the answer. You do.
I
Go
don't.
ahead.
I don't even know the answer. Um, just a guy.
Where'd you come from?
Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
Born and raised?
Born and raised. My whole family is from nearby in Walnut Bottom, which
You're the mayor of?
not really,
Yeah.
but my my grandmother had 8 brothers and sisters, so that town's pretty well populated with the Dever family, which is my family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so born and raised in Carlisle, moved away many times, came back one more time than I left. Went to Shippensburg University, graduated there
What'd you study?
in geoenvironmental studies, so geoenvironmental science with a um, geographic information certificate. So that's computer mapping and concentrated heavily in urban planning.
Okay. All right. So that's your background. Did you want to get into real estate, or was that what did you want to do with that?
No, I graduated college and it was a pretty good recession. Worked myself out of a job, finished the project for an engineering firm uh, in Frederick, and was working in the Gettysburg area. I finished that up. They asked me if I wanted to go further with that. It would have entailed moving towards Timonium and doing some more work. And at that time, I uh, didn't feel like it, so I didn't. Went back home to the Carlisle area and got back into the restaurant business because the money was better and the work was easier at the time.
Mm,
It was, second nature. That's what I had done through high school and the Navy. Was working in the restaurant and food service
So you're in
side
the
of things.
Navy. So you food again?
Yeah, a shifty ass recruiter lied to me. I was gonna go to culinary school out of high school, but my old man threw me out of the house. He said, "It's not that I don't want you around. It's just that we're going to get on each other's nerves, and I'm not paying for school, so you better come up with a plan." Uh, Enter Navy recruiter. He said, "You can do anything you want with your ASVAB scores." I said, "I've always wanted to be a chef," and he said, "Great. All of the chefs in at Camp David come from the Navy. Let's send you to A school to be a cook." And then fast forward a year, I'm slinging hash on an aircraft carrier, and that is what it is. It
Mhm.
was,
It is. So you've told this story to us. The partners have heard this many times. How you got into real estate, and it was because of the food industry, right?
sure. I was working at several bars. Um, the the last one was Rillo's, a great institution in Carlisle, and a Italian fine dining restaurant. Working the bar, and my future broker came in every Friday night and told me I should get into real estate, and I put him off for probably a year or so, and he finally wore me down, and um, I was getting sick of doing food service, and took the leap and did it, and it was a good opportunity. Best thing that ever happened to me.
Did you go to work for that broker?
I did.
right
That,
out, right out of real estate school?
right out of real estate school. I was bartending one night, and there was a big divorce attorney and an executive at a local telecommunications company that's big, regional, and would be noticed. So I'm not going to mention their name, but they were fighting over whether they were going to watch the hockey playoffs or American Idol, and telling me what I had to do, and I turned off the television and and told them I wasn't going to parent them. Gave my 2-week notice, and then went to work in real estate.
Okay. So, what's your role here at Titan 4?
I am, well, I was broker of record until we got into other situations where other brokers were required. So I guess I'm chief broker.
Okay.
I act as support for the other brokers of record, talking through issues. And I guess broker of record means I try to impart contract knowledge and lessons in real estate to our people, and try to help them solve situations, or to make sure that they know what they're getting into.
So you've worked under a number of brokers. Is there one in particular that you've crafted your real estate career after? Someone that you looked up to as a mentor?
Um, I've taken something from every organization that I've worked with. I'd say Doug Heineman. He was my first broker, and he had a very involved and, you know, hands-on approach with all of his agents. It was a smaller brokerage, BH agency. Um, so I learned a lot from Doug, and but as the market grew, I was looking for different things. Then I worked under Iva Fiorina at the Green Company, and she taught me a lot about management and people. And then the rest of what I know kind of picked up along the way from my partners and from my agents. I've learned as much from the agents who uh, I have the privilege to work with as I have from any leaders that I've had in the past. There's
Mhm.
never been a real how to be a broker school out there. You just kind of take what you can pick up and implement it along the way.
Sort of like the real estate exam and all that classes don't teach you how to be a real estate agent. So, of all those people you've worked for, people that mentor you, what's your favorite lesson?
Oh,
What's some?
and I guess I probably learned as much about brokerage and real estate management from my mother as anybody, who was she had her own law firm and was a title attorney. That's what she did my whole life. So I learned as much from her as I did from anyone in the actual real estate industry.
You still bounce things off of her from time to time?
Absolutely. And one of the most valuable lessons that I learned was from her, where I would call her hair on fire and say, I think this is it. This is the one that loses my license for me. And she'd say,
That was last week, right?
did anyone lose a leg? No, no one lost a leg. Okay, then it can probably be salvaged.
Mhm.
You
So
know,
there's some agents here have heard that out of your mouth.
probably.
I bet.
Yeah.
At
Did
least
anybody die yet?
no.
No. Okay, then we'll be all right.
Good.
So it's everything looks better in the light of the new day.
Mhm.
So don't freak out. Just, but when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. I think that's important too.
So you deal with a lot of the challenges. Your hair's on fire a lot. Um, so let's look at the positive side. What's the most rewarding part of what you do?
um, Finding a solution or a pathway where there didn't seem to be one. If we can look at the situation, turn it around, look at all sides of it, and say, all right, this might be a pathway for us to get where we need to be. That's my favorite part, is asking the questions, riddling through the answers, and figuring out how to go forward.
Mhm. So your position is pretty difficult, right? We see it,
Sometimes.
the partners see it because you're dealing with all those moving parts, trying to figure out how to protect the agents, how to protect the brokerages. So burnout is a real thing that you deal with, right? We all do. How do you manage that? How do you deal with it besides excessive alcohol, uh, yelling, screaming, temper tantrums? What do you do?
Um, I've tried to swap bad habits for good ones. Less of the excessive alcohol,
Good.
more of going to the gym. That helps. Um, trying to flip the switch. The hard part for me is going from 1,000 mile an hour real estate problem solving mode into family mode. It's where those transitions are that cause the most frustration. And, where I walk in the door and my kids or my wife are coming to me to tell me about their day, and I'm still way overburdened with issues. So for me, trying to find a transition between work and home, whether that's um, take a few minutes to clear my head before I walk in the door, um, or come in, drop the door, and say I'm going to the office for a minute and kind of wind down and find something funny to watch. That's helpful to prevent the burnout, because the burnout happens not so much from excessive stress or just overwork. For me, it happens when my worlds collide. So it's about setting the boundaries, and I've become much better at setting the boundaries than I was in the past. Um, Whenever we came up with our on-call schedule, that was helpful to just set the expectations for folks that we are real people too. And if you think you've got it bad with your 5 clients, we've got 300 clients. That urgency is a very real thing. So setting those boundaries, observing them, being mindful of those transition periods, and then um, Netflix. So anything where they're shooting zombies is helpful, or campfires. If I can get out to the woods um, with my best friends and hang out around a campfire, that erases everything. That's good stuff.
Good. So, looking back over since you were a kid, what obstacles had you had to overcome to be who you are today? Because I know that, in talking to our agents, there's a lot of respect that they have, but you didn't just come out of high school or college or the Navy and turn into Justin the broker. So, what obstacles have you overcome to become who you are now?
So many mistakes, but those are
Christy's making notes right now. You know that because you don't make mistakes.
um, that's not true. All right, we'll call them missteps.
Great.
But none of those are wasted if you take something away from them. And I think I've been very fortunate to have role models in my family, both my mother and my grandmother, who are or my mother and my grandfather, who are able to say, "All right, so what did we learn from this one? How we, how are we going to come out ahead?" And that's what I try to do for my kids as well. Um, I've had probably more jobs than anyone you know, and some real fun ones. And that was great. A lot of travel early on. Um, you know, I didn't start real estate until I was 30. So I had a whole life before that to try and figure out, you know, who I was and where I was going.
Mhm.
And then the real estate thing came along and it pulled off of this foundation and this experience and this ability and kind of pulled everything together. And I'm like, that actually fits.
So if you could go back, excuse me, and tell your younger self, yourself some advice, what would that be?
Don't smoke cigarettes.
Mm. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still smoke?
No, I
Okay,
don't.
good, good. What one experience changed your life?
One. Okay, I've told this story before. It was one day, one event. It was our friend Wayno's funeral. And I think Wayno's brother had died just before, just after that as well. And his other brother died before that. So there's 3 brothers and they were all dying. It was a it was a tough time in our friend group, and they were actually friends of my parents as well. So there was a great big funeral celebration of life for Wayne, and I was there with Wayne's um, daughter and her husband at the time, and I'm having a conversation over here, and I hear him talking over my shoulder and heard him say, "So I decided this was going to be the best year of my life." And I don't know why that wormed its way into my head, but it did. And I was laying in bed thinking about that you could decide how it was going to be. And I did. And that sounds like bullshit, but it's not. Um, Once you put your mind to it, what you can believe and the mind can perceive, you can achieve, as is written by Napoleon Hill. And that just at this celebration of life got into my head and I couldn't shake it.
Hmm.
And it worked.
So you didn't talk about your other kids, which is Clark the dog,
Clark,
Clark the cat,
the cat is George.
George is, and there's a story that you tell that the cat ended up in the clothes dryer.
Not that cat.
The different cat.
That was Milo.
Okay. So how did this happen?
Uh, Milo was my boy. He showed up one October night during Monday Night Football and showed up on the front porch and wouldn't leave. I tried to chase him off, then he chased me. We got to be friends. 19 years later, Milo finally passed. But along the way, he was with me through construction projects where I would be um, cutting wood on this end of the table and he'd be sitting on this end, or he would bring me snakes through the yard. But Milo was quite a character. One day I was at work and my wife called me and she says, "You were going to be so mad." I was like, "What? Stop." And she just was in hysterics. Don't be angry. I'm like, "Just tell me what's going on." And she was getting the kids ready to go with their grandparents and threw something in the dryer and thought that there was sneakers in there, but it wasn't sneakers, it was the cat. So the cat had crawled into a nice warm soft place, and poor Milo. So I went home from work and took him to the emergency vet. He had a few lumps, a few scars, but he came out okay and lived for another 5 or 6 years.
And your wife?
Yeah, she's fine.
She's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just checking. If you could live anywhere but Carlisle, I know Carlisle is your pride and joy. If you could live anywhere else, where would you go?
Oh man, that's a tough one. There's a couple places I really love. Um,
Newville, probably.
Bozeman, Montana.
Hmm.
I've got some friends in Bozeman after high school. This is a fun story. Do you remember when everyone used to smoke cigarettes?
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody? The bars Marlboro would have contests at the local bars. So you would go out and, they'd give you a few packs of cigarettes and you'd enter a raffle. And one year, Josh won a trip to Bozeman, Montana for a week or so at this dude ranch. The next year, his brother Jamie won the same trip. And then I think the next year they both moved out to Bozeman. And then the year after, I think another friend moved. And then Jamie and Josh's whole family moved out there. So there was like this colony out in Montana where our friends lived. And it's a pretty cool place. So I like it out there. The sky and the mountains. It's good.
Mm-hmm. So recently, there was a video that circulated.
Mm.
How'd that happen? Because you won't do anything for us. The three of us, we ask you to do videos. You turn up your nose. You run the other way. They got you to actually dance.
My little sister Maddie
Maddie
Lowe talked me into it.
she talked you into it. Would you do it again?
Not here.
So after watching that, I'm just wondering, did you go to Arthur Murray's dancing school or
Yes.
what? Okay, you did.
Yep.
All right, great. So what is your walk? What's your walkout song?
Um,
What,
it depends on the day. Depends on the day.
okay, better question. What do you listen to?
Everything.
That's it.
Well, not everything. All right. So I was thinking about the walkout song. I was driving with Christy, and um, there was this Public Enemy song that I play. It's not like old school Public Enemy. It's like 20 years old though, and it's called "Harder Than You Think." And the one line is, how's it go? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I really like that sentiment. And that whole song is about doing it, being genuine and doing it right. And that's why I really like "Harder Than You Think." And that's when I'm feeling really gracious and like doing the right thing. And then there's another one, another hip hop song. Anyone know Prof? Okay.
That's a no.
He has this one. It's called Creek Boy, and it's all about we're gonna we're gonna cut out people who aren't in here to help us win it. And I like that one when I'm not feeling very gracious and a little bit more get out of my way. And then sometimes I play. Um, I like heavy metal a lot too, but then I also like the Grateful Dead. So I like jam bands, but I also like, Slayer
You've been to a lot of concerts.
a lot. That's one of the things I've really enjoyed doing in my life is going to see live music.
You just went to one not too long ago, a year ago.
Yeah,
Was
no,
was
well,
it
no.
Fish? Where'd you go?
Well, we went to see Fish in Madison Square Garden.
Mhm.
Um, I like seeing shows at Madison Square Garden. Saw Eric Clapton there. This summer, all my buddies, what I usually refer to as my idiot friends. There's a half dozen of us, and we're all best friends. We were most of us in each other's weddings, um, and we've been running around causing trouble for 20 years or more, 25. Um, so we go to concerts whenever we can together. Um, so that was a Slayer show in Hershey. Going to see punk rock show in January in Baltimore. So we'd like to travel and go to live music.
I think that's something people didn't realize about you, that your choice of music, because you're so conservative, so monotone usually.
Mm-hmm.
So if your buddies were here, if your buddies were here, what would they tell us? Who who would they say Justin is when he's not working? I know it's when you're drinking, not drinking
I
with your
can't
best friend.
repeat what they would say.
Oh, okay, good.
That would be awful.
I've seen you with your buddies.
Yeah.
Complete relaxation.
Yeah.
Yeah. They give you a lot of peace and quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? They don't want anything from me, and I don't want anything from them. It's all just about fellowship and common experiences and telling bullshit stories, and
They're great guys.
just having fun.
Yeah, we had a cookout, and they're just like you when you're calm and your
Mm-hmm.
hair's not on fire.
Yep.
Okay. Um, what specific experiences or key moments reassured you that getting together with Christy, Terry, and I, what, how'd that happen?
Well, as you know, it's kind of gradual. Um, you don't know how it's going to work out until it goes sideways.
Mm-hmm.
If everything's smooth, you have no idea what your relationship's made of. So luckily, there's plenty of opportunities to prove the relationship in real estate. And as each of us have gone through different burnouts or crises or difficult times, personally or in the business during our relationship, it's how we've all been able to come together to support one another and either come up with a plan or an accommodation to bail each other out or maintain each other's sanity. That's what's really shown me that we were on the right track, is that it was never a figure it out on your own type of thing. It was, okay, we got you. and that's been um, significant. That's been great.
You've had some challenging partnerships in the past,
Sure.
right? So why is this one different?
Um,
And why did you do it again? Because when you have things fail like that, it's like, do I want to do this again? And why do I want to do it with these people?
it's not that we don't want something from each other. It's that we wouldn't ask for something that we wouldn't give. Right? Like we're all in it together, and in past partnerships, that was not the case.
Hmm.
Like somebody wanted something from me that I wasn't. Like I am not that guy. So if you're trying to tell me what to do and that's not who I am, I'm sorry for you. That's not happening. And that's not been our case. We accept each other for who we are, by and large, and that's what we want from each other.
Hmm.
I want from Christy what Christy is. I want from Terry who she is, and you guys want from me who I am. You're not asking me to be something that I'm not.
Hmm. Well, we ask, but you still don't deliver.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry for that. Not.
Not sorry. If you could have a career that isn't in real estate, what else would you want to do? Is there something else that it's like, if I ever get done with real estate, I'm going to do that?
It's too late to be an attorney. I'm not doing that. But I think I'd be good at that. Because I earmuffs if we have any attorneys. I think a lot of them miss the point and don't do the best that they could for clients in the real estate industry. I would love to be an attorney to represent people in real estate transactions or real estate agents. I would love that because the more I do this industry, the more I understand that attorneys and judges don't understand the real estate contract. They just don't. And
Mhm.
if somebody could do that, they could do very well for their clients. Um, Aside from that, I would go. I used to sell hot dogs for a living.
Tell us that, because I was going to ask you.
Yeah. My mom was dating this guy um, from Ventnor, New Jersey, and he moved to Harrisburg and had a hot dog cart in front of PennDOT, and every other weekend they would go to the Jersey Shore for the weekend, and I would run the hot dog cart, and that was fun.
Rain or shine, doesn't matter.
Oh no, it was mostly shine. Um, but yeah, I would do that at the beach. I would have a hot dog cart at the beach any day. That would be fun.
Perfect.
I would
Just don't burn the buns.
put on music and talk to people and sell hot dogs. That'd be all right.
You've had a lot of experiences. What's something you look back on and just say, you know what, I did that?
I've had lots of adventures, and they didn't all go according to plan. But I think between the friendships I've built and the adventures I've had and what we're creating here, it will one day make for a pretty good story. I mean, it's pretty unlikely that I'm here today, and I think that that's
Why do you say that? Why do you think it's unlikely?
I wouldn't have hired me.
Because you worked a hot dog stand?
Um,
No? Why? Why not?
I had some attitude issues.
Have some attitude
I have
issues.
some attitude
Okay,
issues.
first step to recovery. Thank you.
um, I don't know. I just I feel like there was always people along the way cheerleading me that saw something in me that I didn't, and I think it's pretty cool that they were right, and it worked out
So you said,
or has been working out so far. We'll see.
yeah, thank you. Doug Heinemann's the one that got you into real estate.
Hmm.
What's he think of where you're at now?
We haven't really talked about it. Um,
Think he's proud?
Probably, I guess.
He did that.
Yeah,
That's what he's thinking.
I imagine.
Yeah.
And, that's something that Doug can claim a lot of is people that have been successful in the real estate business. And that's something that I would be proud of is how many people were able to make a worthwhile career out of some of the skills I showed them
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
the place that we gave them to practice. Um, I think that's pretty impressive
Mhm.
is the amount of people that we've been able to touch so far. And we're 5 years in, give it another 5. And I think that, you know, um, we'll be able to look back and look at all the families that we've impacted.
Mhm. So, superhero, if you were a superhero, what gift would you want? What superpower?
Fireballs.
And which agents are going to get. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. If you're an animal,
Honey badger.
honey badger. No. Honey badgers, they have a soft underbelly like you?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. This is for your agents. What gives you anxiety about the agents? There's some nervous laughter out in the crowd. No names.
Um, when people don't take the time to practice their craft, to understand what their job is, right? The client is the center of the transaction, and we'll be okay every time if we remember that. Um, but we need to have all of the supporting skills and knowledge to protect our client. And if you can do those things, then you'll be great. And I get very nervous when um, people don't show up for 7 months and then say, "Hey, I'm writing a commercial deal." I'm like, let me walk you through that.
Mhm.
So that makes me nervous. Like when people don't know the contract, they don't know the time frames. That's something that we need to work on a little better.
Okay. A couple more questions before we hit the crowd.
Mm.
What do you do for fun?
um, I like to go up to the cabin. Um, it's not my cabin; it's family. It's a 1976 single wide trailer on 20 acres.
Mhm.
We call it the cabin.
Okay.
Uh, Out in Bedford County.
Mhm.
Go out there and split wood and burn it, and then split wood and burn it. That's good. Go skiing with my kids. That's awesome. Go fishing with my kids. That's awesome. Go fishing by myself. That's great.
I think you have a rod in your car, your vehicle.
Not right now. I usually do, or
Usually do.
used to.
I think that's one of the biggest complaints I heard from you early on is I never get to go fishing.
I bought a 5-year fishing license whenever they first came out, and I used it twice in 5 years, and that really irritated me.
Hmm. So how can we get you fishing more?
um, Let's see. I need to work on my boundaries.
Hmm.
I need to do all my work during the time allotted. I need to become more organized to handle those burdens, and I need to observe my own boundaries so that when 6 o'clock comes, I don't feel bad about going to fish
Hmm.
or whatever. So that's on me.
Yeah, yeah. What's your goals for Titan 4 moving forward? Do you have any goals?
It's not numerical, right? It's not like I want to have 20 offices, which I do. It's it's that I want it to be the best uh, dam operation out there because I want to prove that you can get to um, a size where you can provide additional support and resources for agents, but not lose the personal touch. Um, because there's so many other organizations out there that um, they just grow to grow to grow. What are they growing for? Are they growing to support the agents and provide additional resources? No. Um, and as a byproduct, nobody knows who anybody is. Um, and I want to surround us with the right people so that we can continue to do that. And it means bringing the right people um, up through the ranks, because I think the people that we have here are the best in the world, and we just need to help them to find their strengths. Like there was people who believed in me when I didn't believe in me. I think that I see great things in a lot of the people around here that they may not recognize yet, and we just need to kind of prod it out of them. So that's, and I would like to not work Fridays.
I heard you say, and I think it's in print, is that when you were in management before, I'm not going to do this again until my name's on the door,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
So, is it worth it?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Before, whenever I was managing for other people, it was body count. It was grow the ranks. But I had the responsibility to do that. I had accountability uh, over the people that I supervised, but I didn't have the authority to run the thing the way that I wanted. And the way that I would have run it is to take the people that are already working with us and make them more productive. But that was secondary for the organization. They wanted new people, and those new people proved to be a draw on resources so that the existing people got neglected. And I think that that's a um, not an okay compromise. So that was one of the reasons I said that, was one of the reasons why I wouldn't want to manage for anybody else, because again, my problem with authority.
Great. You just told all of our agents not to pay attention to
That's
authority.
not what I said at all.
That's not what they heard.
I said I'm not
That is
listening to
not what they
anyone
heard.
else.
So, you're still young. Yeah, I think you just hit the 50
I'm
this year.
50.
You just hit 50 last month, right?
Yeah, like
Have you thought about retirement?
I
What's
turned.
that look like and when? All that?
No,
No.
no. I mean, I haven't even been doing this for 20 years yet.
Right.
My grandfather retired at 65 and worked a whole nother career after that. So I don't know why I would quit this to do something else. I might as well just lump it all together.
Yep.
Just keep on riding.
Yep. Just starting to make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
You not only sell real estate, but you own real estate.
A little bit.
Yeah. Do you encourage the agents to do so as well?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's, I've gathered mentors from throughout my interactions, and one of those is a commercial and residential broker that I work with, and he says one thing that so many agents don't do is take advantage of the good deals in front of them. Not saying to divert properties from the market. I'm just saying take advantage of opportunities that are out there. The majority of the properties that I've purchased have been from old landlords who got sick of the rat race and wanted to step out of it. And then they said, "Will you buy this from me? I'll hold the paper." And that's like, I bought like 8 properties that way, for like 10% down or less.
Right.
So, and then that's a forced savings account. I mean, what's better than having a fully paid off property that somebody else paid for? Plus cash flow.
True. Yeah. Are you getting better at balancing that home work life? Is that working out for you? Setting boundaries? Are you going to set some more boundaries?
I think I would be totally caught up if we would stop adding offices. I just need to figure out a couple more systems, and then we'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I'm really bad at organizing paperwork,
Oh, we know.
that kind of stuff. So if I can get that under control, then I think a lot of my home life harmony would fall into place.
Okay. You're not doing your listings anymore, right?
No,
Good. Good.
I mean, yeah. But
So that's all I have on the paper. Anyone in the crowd have any questions?
all
Anybody
right, good.
online?
Thanks, everybody.
Christy has a question.
If nobody here,
Say it out loud.
What's your advice to a seasoned agent in this business, in this new, world that we live in, like unfiltered, and then also the same for a new to business agent?
so no questions. Um, so my advice to experienced agents in the changing market and experienced to agents entering the market, unfiltered. You need to adapt. You need to figure out what you don't know, and that's kind of one of our philosophies. Is look for reasons to say yes, hang out with, listen to younger agents that are coming up because they're the future of the industry. And if we want to be the future of the industry, we need to pay attention to what their needs and concerns are, not what the old agents are. They're going to be retiring soon. But if you're an experienced agent, I recommend you hang out with younger agents. If you're a younger agent, I recommend you hang out with experienced agents. It's those collaborations that everybody can take a lesson from. So whether that's just work groups or hanging out or coming to Ivy League, I think having those opportunities to talk to one another and listen is very important. I usually say don't hang out with other realtors because there's no money in it. But if you take a break and go for a drink or go, socialize after work, that's a great opportunity to share some knowledge. Does that help? Was that good?
It wasn't I mean, I was looking for some like raw,
Raw.
She wants
raw advice.
she wants you to swear.
She was looking for Christy Knox style advice.
Oh,
Unfiltered.
you unfiltered. That was. Get an admin. Find out what you suck at and eliminate it. Have somebody else do that. Like if there's something that stops you from, if you look at all the tasks that you do in the day, what's the one you procrastinate most about? Don't get good at it. Have somebody else do it. Like, I don't think there's any reason to learn to do something you hate. I mean, other than you have to know how to do it on a base level. But that would be that's one of my things is don't grin and bear it. Get rid of it.
Questions? Anything online, Terry?
Awesome.
All right.
What you got?
What's the number one thing that agents do that gets them in trouble that you wish we would stop?
Time frames.
What's that?
Time frames.
Okay.
Lack of communication. So communicate. Just pick up the phone.
There's the unfiltered part.
Yeah. Pick up the phone. Yeah. Yeah. Communication.
Anything else? All right. Justin, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody from home. Both of you.
It's great.
See ya.